everyone, it's AJ, and today it's Monday. And you know what that means. It's Manga Monday! Yeah! So, today I have a finished series. Well, technicalities, it's finished. I thought it was going to be finished until literally the last page, and it's like, oh hey, by the way, we're going to have a spin-off. But, never mind. So, it's a series I've actually covered on the channel before, and well, basically I didn't end up doing the rest of the volumes. I did the first two volumes, if I remember correctly, and then just skipped to now, which is now volume 11. And that series is The Girl from the Other Side. So, the last volume has just came out, and thankfully I actually got it, because this kept getting delayed for me. It's like, oh hey, by the way, we're just going to keep pushing it back further and further and further and further. But thankfully they just went, oh babe, by the way, we actually got it in stock. Here you go. Boop. Sorted. And thankfully I needed it, because the torture of it has been the last few volumes. God, I needed this ending. If you follow me on TikTok, you'll know my feelings about volume 9 and 10, mostly because I've just cried over them, because that's what they've done. They've just broken my wee heart, especially 9. Holy fuck, did 9 break me so much. So, here's a complete collection now. As you can see, it's a pain to actually hold all of these. I will be lying if I said I did this in first take, but no. It has literally taken me like 5 minutes to try and get a hold of all of these in a nice way. But as you can see, it looks very nice, like with their spines, and the covers are absolutely fucking beautiful as well. So if you're a wee bit unfamiliar with the series, I'll just give you a wee tiny synopsis. So the story revolves around a girl called Shiva and this creature called Teacher, and in this world there is the outsiders and the insiders. So insiders are humans and the outsiders are these creatures that have a curse upon them. So if an outsider touches an insider, basically the insider becomes an outsider. Basically they're transforming due to this curse. So story revolves around Shiva, who is just a little girl, maybe about 4 or 5, and she's on the outside. And there's this outsider called Teacher that is looking after her, and basically this is their story of their relationship, and basically it's them against the world, essentially. That's probably the best way to put it, because the journey you go through with them breaks your heart, because you go through so much. You have the insiders that want to capture Shiva because she is as quoted as the girl from the other side. Oh, look, the title of the book. Just gonna say, from this point on, there's probably going to be a lot of spoilers for the series, because I'm going to be talking about the end and like the last few volumes especially. So if you haven't read the series, go read it. It's really good. Like, I know I'm saying it's going to break your wee heart, but like, hey, most of you have came from my fucking bingo videos. We know what pain's like. So there's that. But it's very sweet, but it's also got some moments that will tear at your heartstrings and whatnot. So it is like a nice story, and there is a happy ending. I will say that there is a form of a happy ending. Wee bit vague, but it is happy. So it's not all doom and gloom. You just need to go through a few volumes of doom and gloom to get there. Speaking of which, the volume that gave me the most amount of pain, volume 9. Shiva was getting sacrificed by the church that's in the inside, because they're convinced that if they sacrifice her, it will be like an end to like the curses, and will keep them safe, because sacrifice to God will keep them safe, we're all good fam. Not really. But just before this happened, just before Shiva gets captured, Shiva was touched in the end of the first volume, so naturally she should have changed according to the rules of the world. However, she didn't. But as time went on, she actually showed signs of changing ever so slowly. So the curse started to take over. So she started getting the dark patches to change her and whatnot. So, teacher, who has been the most support of Shiva, making sure she was okay, protecting her and everything like that, even going out to get her when she was initially captured by the inside, because she gets captured twice by the inside. She gets captured the first time. Well, I say captured. They bring, like, her aunt that was the one who abandoned her in the forest, by the way. So the soldiers bring her aunt. The aunt takes her away, brings her in, and then because Shiva holds the curse but hasn't changed into the curse, because she started like talking to the townsfolk and whatnot, they started to change. Which also included her aunt. So then because of that, they get away again. So like teacher gets her out along with her aunt, who's now changed, and for a wee while, for 5 days, they live together, kind of like a weird family. Aunt hates teacher, and then Shiva starts to see the result of the curse, which is people start to forget. And then the ultimate form of the curse, if they do not become a proper outsider, like teacher, that can just wander on forever and ever, they become a tree. Yeah, it sounds very weird. I know, just, you have to read to understand. As I've said to, like, others who I've told about this story, because, trust me when I say, the tree part is so very important. But you think, why the fuck are they showing this in, like, I think it was, like, volume 4 or whatever it was. It's like, why is this a thing? Trust me, it's a fucking thing. So, flash forward a little bit to where Shiva is now developing the curse, and, well, teacher just goes, oh shit. Because Shiva is meant to be this pure soul that, like, all the outsiders want, but now her soul is getting tarnished because of this curse. So, teacher, being the good guy that he is, ends up giving part his soul to Shiva to stop the curse. Right? But now he's reacting like a human, becoming an outsider. So he starts to forget things right in front of Shiva. And when she gets kidnapped for the second time, they literally kidnap them right in front of teacher, who does nothing. Because, like, he's not himself anymore, because he has no soul, so then the curse then just takes over him. Okay? It hurts. Just that part was a bitch. Oh, so then Shiva goes into the town. She goes to get almost sacrificed, and then the king just goes, you know what? No, I'm going to let you go. I'm going to find a way to get you to escape. So then she escapes back into the forest, and she starts looking for teacher, naturally. And the other outsider creatures basically were like, oh yes, the one you call teacher is like this way. So she's running and running and running. So this is the end of this volume, by the way. So she's like running, finds them in an open field, right? The last fucking shot is him as a tree. He's turning into the tree. Shiva is obviously getting upset at the fact that teacher is now turning into a tree, right? Oh, and you think, oh, that's going to be the end of the volume, and then we're just going to carry on. Oh no. They're like, oh, you know how you're already sad at the fact that teacher is turning into a tree and whatnot, because he's basically sacrificed himself to help Shiva to make sure that she doesn't turn or anything like that. Oh no! It gets worse! Because Shiva gives back the soul. She then starts turning into the tree. Because she's gave back the soul, so now she holds the curse. And then we end with this panel of Shiva as a fucking other. Honestly, I had to reread that like so many times and I was just crying on top of it. Like, what the fuck did I just read? The stress of that fucking ending. Like, why? And then I had to wait so long for the next volume. Like, it was cruel. And what makes it worse is you get the hints about what teacher is and what he was before, so then you think about it and like, fuck, which then gets confirmed in the next volume. Literally starts off with a flashback for a good chunk of the book, because if you can see, if you're well known with manga, if the pages are black, you know it's a flashback scene. But, the fact that it's basically revealed that teacher is her dad. It's like, what? Which just makes it even more heartbreaking. Like, So then basically this volume is basically teacher trying to deal with the fact that what's happened to Shiva, right? And the fact that Shiva is now an outsider and basically it's just talking like Shiva didn't really exist or anything like that, and teacher can't have that because no, that was Shiva, you were Shiva, like, So for the most part, this is literally gives you the backstory about how teacher and Shiva came to be, about their relationship. Basically, obviously, teacher's backstory about how he became an outsider, and how, as teacher, he met Shiva. God. Just thinking about it is getting me upset. And it basically tells you, as a cliffhanger, that how teacher became to be was essentially this outsider saw them and took a piece of their body, put them on top of them, which then turned them into an outsider, and then part of their kind of soul got put into Shiva. Like, it's very confusing. So for the last volume, the ending, the climax, the holy grail of this series, we got there eventually. Basically explains the whole, well, technically part of your soul went into me to create Shiva, and then I created this form for you, which is basically your daughter. Oh, God. And then the host, that's the thing, it's like this host of Shiva. It's not even Shiva anymore. It's like the host of Shiva. Basically tries to say, hey, if you give me your soul, because the soul of Shiva that basically created that wee girl that you liked and whatnot is now back in you. But if you give it back to me, I can maybe transform back into Shiva. Blah, 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 blah. They lie to him because they're like, right, I'll give you like 5 days or something like that. And it's like, come meet me at the pond where Mother stays, like the holy grail of like all creatures, like all the others, and we can do that, blah blah blah. But she leaves early, like they go into the pond to meet Mother early and whatnot, basically to say, hey, by the way, I don't have your soul, because that's essentially the purpose of the others. They gather souls and give them to Mother. And obviously Shiva, having the most purest soul of all, would have been the best soul to give to Mother. So they basically go, nope, I don't have your soul, but my job's now done, so just return me to the land. So then they go and they're meant to go turn into a tree. However, teacher comes at the right time and basically be like, excuse you, we had a deal. I want my Shiva back, kind of thing. But even inside the host, right, there's still a wee bit of Shiva there, and little Shiva is basically pushing them to go back to teacher, being like, no, like, you care for him as well, which is very fucking cute. It was like, you care for them, obviously it's like, hey, you stumbled upon this dead person. You gave them a part of your body to basically save them. And then you've been like under this subconsciously, like whilst I've been roaming around as little Shiva. And it's like, you love him. And it's like, ah. So little Shiva, basically, the soul of Shiva, basically pushes the host to go back to the land and basically go, hey, right, I know I technically lied to you, but I didn't want you to give me the soul back. Oh, it's very sweet, but I kind of realised it probably sounds very confusing. Granted, when I read it, it was very confusing. So please do read the series. Like, I do highly recommend it. So it basically ends with them kind of going over, like, trying to think the best word, like the highlights of their relationship of what like teacher and Shiva had done, because it's implied that the host now has Shiva again, and she's acting like Shiva, at least. Like, that's the thing, you don't see them, even though this is basically how it ends with this panel. You don't actually see if they turned back into Shiva, like this like little girl size, but she's definitely acting like Shiva. So it's kind of implied that she has transformed back, but they did say that there was a chance that they couldn't transform back. So, and they're just going through like their things. They're basically making their journey back to the cottage that it all began, which was basically teacher's home, like his actual home to begin with. And it's just going through like all the spoons on the ground outside the wee house, and then it was like, oh well, I claimed this house when we came through here and whatnot, and finally ending up in the field, which we first met them both, like Shiva, like at our favourite little stump in the field, and that's how it ends. Like, just kind of coming back full circle to the place where it all began, and hoping that they basically have a nice wee happy life now that they've kind of established like what it is, like their kind of parts within the world. So yeah, that's the series, well, for the most part. And then, like I said, literally open, like just going through the back pages, and then the next one is like, oh, by the way, there's going to be a special 12th volume, and it's going to be short stories of the world. And it's like, oh, fuck. Well, in a good way, because it's like, yes, I get more like Shiva and teacher content, hopefully. I highly doubt it'll be like anyone else, but, or actually maybe some of the others, that would actually be kind of funny, because some of them are quite funny. But yeah, I was very like, oh, this is a series, it's done now, and I'm like, no, now there's another volume. I have another volume of potential pain. Well, actually, I'm hoping it's like nice, cute stories. Like, if it's side stories, I hope they're kind of nice stories. Because frankly, see the shit they went through for like, especially like the last 4 volumes of this, especially. Like, I want some happy stories. Is that too much to ask? So, that was The Girl from the Other Side. I hope you enjoy this. I would highly recommend this, honestly. If I haven't said that enough throughout the video, which I have, obviously. But one thing I really liked saying in the last ones is, see the quality of these like the covers. They're so nice. I know that sounds very fucking weird, but I feel like book people understand it when it's like, see when you have a nice cover, it just feels so nice to read. Others are just going to be like, what the fuck are you on? The story is really good, and honestly, these two are just adorable, despite how much pain they put me through. I love them. And this is getting an OVA next year, like a movie, and I'm so fucking buzzing. It's gonna make me cry, but I'm gonna be so happy. So I'll probably be talking about that when that comes out. I might talk about the short stories whenever they come out. I don't know when they're coming out, because usually, see, when like one volume comes out, you can generally kind of pre-order the next one. Yeah, this I can't even find news of the Japanese release of the short stories, so I don't even think that's even out for Japan yet. Never mind trying to order it for English. So there is that, so that it might be a while. So that was another Manga Monday, and I hope you enjoyed that. I will hopefully maybe do something cheerier next time. I actually have no clue which one I'm going to do next, but we'll figure something out. Like, the thing is, right, I've had so many pre-orders for the last few months, right, and I've literally only gotten that one. Most of my pre-orders are now going to come maybe in December, so that's like 9 odd or something like that. I had so many plans, but now because they've been delayed so much, Manga Monday has been screwed so much. The joys. But anyway, I think if all going well, I should have another volume of The Witch and the Beast soon. Although I think actually technically it was meant to come today. And I'm pretty sure I've not been notified of the fact that it's actually coming today. So yeah, that's not happening. It's bad enough one of them got delayed till next year in March. I'm just having no luck with any of my pre-orders, honestly. And I think the next one is Beast Volume 2. Which, by the way, how the fuck are people getting them early? It's not even meant to come out, like, until, what, next week? And yet, people already have them because they've, like, got them out in shops already. Like, I'm so... It's in America, because obviously the UK is not getting anything. This is the problem. I think that is generally the issue. It's like they can't get them into the UK, so that's why the delays are just like horrendous. And it's annoying because I'm seeing people with my pre-orders and I'm just like, I want mine. Oh. But anyway, I'm going to stop ranting because that's all I do when it comes to Manga Monday with my pre-orders. So anyway, until next time, I'm AJ and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.